It's very strange to find a body underneath a table.
You're right. Hold up. Alright. Yeah, now I'm good.
Then, let's start with that mystery.
The reason why Bianca's body was discovered on the dining hall table. We can start with that, but ultimately, we need to find out who murdered him. If we can do that. And I'm thinking about if is it worth it? We have to do this no matter what. So the class trial has finally started. From the point on, I would provide simple tutorials at every important moment. I'm sorry, please excuse my irritating voice. Oh yes! Blood is saying on the table.
Why was Byakuya's body in a place like that?
His body was underneath the table at the very back of the...
After the killer murdered Byakuya, they probably moved the body there. No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
No, I don't think the killer moved the body. Huh? Why? Try to remember what the body looked like when we found it under the table. Though there was a lot of blood everywhere, there was no sign the killer actually dragged the body through.
So that's why you think it's impossible that the killer moved the body. I see. I get your point.
Oh, and here I thought I had a genius idea.
Too bad you're so stupid and boring and unpopular. Your life is meaningless.
I respond better to praise, you know.
But if the killer didn't move the body, why was it under the table?
Byakuya was probably killed under the table.
No shit.
What? You think he was killed under the table?
So Byakuya snuck under the table for reasons unknown, and that's when he was killed. Then, shortly thereafter, we found his body under the table.
That does make sense, but why did he go under the table?
Obviously, he was hiding so he could surprise us. That dude was always a big jokester.
The hell he was? You seriously couldn't tell what kind of person he was?
Maybe he panicked during the blackout and dove under the table.
It's a blackout, not an earthquake. Just because the power went out doesn't mean you dive under the table.
The reason why is probably connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, don't you?
Before the party even started.
Crap!
I'm gonna read that. That's the case, you didn't want to miss that.
Crap!
Crap! Crap!
Isn't the knife? So that. Fuck. Come on. This. Oh my god, bro.
I can prove it with this!
Hell yeah.
It probably has something to do with the knife we found under the table.
Knife? Oh, you mean that thing that obviously screams, I am the murder weapon!
Byakuya probably noticed the knife was hidden there. So in order to get it, he moved under the table.
He was particularly sensitive to the presence of dangerous items, so I cannot deny that possible. But how did he notice that there was a knife under the table?
If he knew beforehand, he probably would have done something about it before the blackout, right? Then, instead of knowing about it beforehand, maybe he saw it right at that moment. Like, for example, he might have seen someone trying to take the knife out from under the table.
No, that's not possible.
What? You seem rather confident about that.
Of course. I have proof to back me up.
This is almost like a real trial!
Shut the fuck up.
sure Byakuya ducked under the table. During the blackout. That sounds correct.
If that's the case, during the blackout, Mr. Hamhand must have seen the killer,
But it was super pitch black! It was so dark I couldn't see my food!
Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either.
Crap!
I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table.
during the blackout. That sounds correct. If that's the case, during the blackout, must have seen the killer.
But it was super pitch. It was so dark I couldn't see my...
Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either.
No, that's wrong!
Yeah, that's wrong. I'm smart. I'm a smarty boy.
No, Byakuya was probably the only one who was able to see in the dark.
Why do you say that?
He was using those night vision goggles we...
So, are you saying Byakuya was the one who used those night vision goggles?
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Your reasoning is out of focus. No, that's obviously wrong. It should be the other way around.
Other way around?
Seriously? The killer used those night vision goggles, not Byakuya.
So, who is this that's speaking?
If you just... The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. In reality, so those goggles were planted and the killer brought them to the crime scene. Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Because if they used night vision, then they could have killed Byakuya in reality. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Allow me to cut through those words!
Yeah, but let me cut through those words.
No, Byakuya was definitely the one who brought those night vision goggles.
Definitely? But why?
Inside the Duralumin case Byakuya had with him during the party, he found a smaller case for storing the night vision goggles.
Which means we can assume that the night vision goggles were kept inside that Duralumin case as well. Woohoo! I said assume! Ibuki never uses such clever language.
Plus, Byakuya was the only one who could have taken the night vision goggles out of the case, since he was carrying it around before the blackout in the first place.
I see. When you put it like that, it makes sense.
Then, was that knife inside the case too? If there were night vision goggles inside, it wouldn't be weird for a knife to be in there too.
It would be weird.
I am weird, aren't I? At times like this, I'd rather be fantasizing about tonight's main dish.
Ooh, you totally mean that in a perverted way.
I see.
There was duct tape left under the table where the body was found. They probably hid the knife by duct taping it to the underside of the table.
Oh, so that's why we...
Though Byakuya was thorough, even he couldn't have noticed a weapon taped to the underside of the table.
This may be off topic, but why was Byakuya acting so paranoid? Not only did he bring a self-defense kit, but he had night vision goggles inside the case too.
That's true. He went above and beyond being a little cautious.
Now that you mention it, that applies to the dangerous items he confiscated as well. It's one thing to be a little cautious, but performing a body check is a bit much.
He probably knew someone was planning to commit a murder.
Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be? Was he also in possession of the all-seeing eye?
You think so too, right, Hajime?
That's right. Yeah, Damn.
Crap! I can prove it with this! Everyone, can you please take a look at this? The hell is this? Hajime and I found this in Byakuya's cottage. It looks like a threatening letter someone sent for him.
So, who's the someone?
Nobody besides Monokuma would write such a dumb, threatening letter like that.
Wasn't me!
Are you sure?
The only lies I tell are friendly lies!
Those are still lies!
Doesn't matter who wrote it yet. So, Byakuya became paranoid because of this threatening letter?
He probably decided to throw a party because of the letter. What do you mean? By gathering everyone in one place, he tried to create a situation where everyone could keep tabs on each other. In doing so, he tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act.
But the letter might have been just a little prank.
As long as he was determined not to let any of us die, he couldn't take that risk. His strong sense of responsibility made him believe the letter was legitimate.
He should have told us he received a threatening letter.
We would have panicked. Byakuya probably knew that too.
So, he tried to do something about it without telling anyone? I see. His strong sense of responsibility as our leader was his undoing.
Screw that noise! Who the hell wrote that letter?
Well, obviously, the killer.
Is it really one of us?
Who is it? Among Us. He's the one who killed.
Enough already! Show yourself, you coward!
If they were willing to come forward, they never would have committed a murder in the first place.
Still, I can't believe that. Some in this world even killed Bianca. There's no way I can't.
Pardon me. Can I say something, please?
What is it, Miss Sonia?
I regret that I must return to this topic, but I just realized something concerning the night vision goggles. If Byakuya was indeed wearing those goggles, how did the killer manage to navigate in the dark?
You're right. They wouldn't have been able to see anything without the night vision goggles. But if the murderer had the goggles when they took the knife, then how did Byakuya see them?
Even if the knife bore some sort of mark, it would have been difficult to see it in that darkness.
I see! What if the glowing pink was the mark? With that, you'd be able to get the knife even in the dark. In actuality, the knife we found under the table and the duct tape stuck to the underside of the table were both marked with glowing paint, right?
Does that mean the killer painted them in advance?
But painting them with glowing paint? It's as if they knew the blackout was going to happen.
They had to have already known. That's why they used the glowing paint as a mark. Which means whoever set up the blackout is the killer.
That seals it. The killer is whoever was in the office with the circuit breaker. Which means it was you, Peko-Pekoyama!
Peko killed poor Byakuya? Was this island not big enough for 2 glasses wearers?
Not the killer. Oh, I guess she's not.
How can you believe her so easily?
But with Peko's height, I don't think she'd be able to reach the circuit breaker in the office.
I don't care about a technicality like that. Peko's the one who tripped the breaker and caused the blackout. Since Peko was in the office, she could have caused the blackout at any time.
It's impossible.
Huh? Why is it impossible?
Because I was not in the office. Not even before the blackout.
I agree with that.
No, I think Peko is telling the truth.
And it was finally freed up after Byakuya's body was discovered.
Then the person who was in the bathroom that whole time was actually...
Everyone else besides Peko was in the dining hall after the party started, right?
I guess that would be...
You locked yourself in the commode? You should have said so earlier.
There's no way she'd actually say that. Gosh, you're so insensitive.
If she locked herself in the bathroom for that long, there's no doubt. It's shit.
Oh.
Oh, there's no way she'd admit it. There's no way she'd admit she was taking a shit.
Hey, weren't you guys taught any basic manners, or were you raised in a locker room?
I'm sorry.
It's fine. How about
we stop talking about this and move on to something else?
Don't worry, the smell wasn't that strong. I used the bathroom right after you, so you can trust me.
I said it's fine.
But still, you were in the bathroom for a really long time. Did you get food poisoning or something?
As soon as I stepped into the office, I felt this sudden rush of pain in my stomach. Because of that, I was unable to leave the bathroom, including when the blackout occurred.
Hey, how did it feel to do your business in the dark? Did you get excited? Seriously, stop it.
But still, your stomach pain. Was that really just a coincidence?
Hey, what's the deal? Don't butt into other people's business, especially if you didn't do any investigating.
I'm only butting in because you fucking idiots are out of your element.
Stop this childish nonsense. Just what do you mean by coincidence?
What I mean is it possible someone slipped her some laxatives?
Laxatives?
If so, the killer could have tripped the breaker as soon as that girl left the office, don't you think?
I see. That might have happened.
Did you eat anything weird?
I don't remember eating anything weird. Now that you mention it... You brought food to the office, right? Just a little bit from the dining hall.
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
Taro cooked the food! How suspicious!
I wouldn't do anything like that! Laxatives would ruin the taste!
Did you eat anything weird?
I don't remember eating it. Now that you brought food to the office, just a little bit from the dining.
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
Crap!
Did you eat anything?
I don't remember eating any. Now that you brought food to the office, just a little bit from the dining.
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you?
No, that's wrong!
That's wrong.
No, it's impossible that laxatives were slipped into the food in the dining hall. Because Pekka wasn't the only one who ate that food. Akane ate some of it too.
If the food had laxatives in it, I'm pretty sure Akane would have had stomach issues as well.
I feel totally fine.
Like I said, the dishes are innocent. Don't go making weird accusations.
I apologize for causing a scene.
Fuyuhiko should apologize, not you. He's the one who made the laxative accusation.
What the fuck did you say, bitch?
Cease this bickering!
Let's just dismiss Pekko's stomachache as a coincidence and go back to discussing the blackout.
Yeah. We already know that, you trashy skank. You don't have to tell us.
Trashy skank?
And how did they do it? If you can't answer that, I'm gonna bop you on the head.
Did they throw a stone and hit it?
Who tripped the breaker and how did they do it? If you can't answer that, I'm gonna bop you on the head. Did they throw a stone?
Maybe they used a remote control?
Damn.
Who tripped the breaker? If you can't answer that, did they throw a stone?
Maybe they used a remote control?
They probably messed with the breaker.
It does not have to be the breaker. They may have tampered with the power supply and transmitters.
Or maybe they caused a power surge?
Who tripped the breaker and how did they if you can't answer that,
Did they throw a stone and hit it?
Maybe they used a remote... Remote control?
They probably messed with the breaker.
It does not have to be the breaker. They may have tampered with the power supply and transmitters.
Or maybe they caused a power surge?
I bet it's really Monokuma's fault.
By the way, I'm not a trashy skank. Who tripped the breaker and how if you can't answer that, did they throw a
Maybe they used a remote...
They probably
It does not have to be. They may have tampered with the power supply and
Or maybe they caused a power surge?
We will never give up!
Who tripped the breaker and how did they do it? If you can't answer that, I'm gonna bop you. Did they throw a
Maybe they used a remote control?
They probably messed with the
It does not have to be the breaker. They may have tampered with the power supply and transmitters.
Who tripped the breaker and if you can't answer that, I'm gonna bop you. Did they throw a stone and hit it? Who tripped the breaker? If you can't answer that, I'm gonna did they throw a stone and hit it?
Maybe they used a remote control?
They probably messed with the breaker.
It does not have to be the breaker. They may have tampered with the power supply and transmitters.
Or maybe they caused a power surge?
I bet it's really Monokuma's fault.
Who tripped the breaker and how did they do it? If you can't answer that, did they throw a stone and hit it? Who tripped the breaker and how if you can't answer that, did they throw a
Maybe they used a remote control?
probably messed with the breaker.
Stay down.
breaker, and how did they do it? If you can't answer that, did they
Throw a stone and hit it?
Maybe they used a remote.
probably... It does not have to be the
They may have tampered with the power supply. Or maybe they caused a power surge?
I agree with that.
Which is why those 3 irons were arranged to cause the blackout.
When you found them right after the blackout, the irons were still on, right?
So by leaving those irons on in the storage room, they deliberately caused a power surge.
Yeah, it seems that's how the killer caused the blackout.
Stupid fool! Hold on a second, let me speak too!
What the heck?
You say the irons in the storage room were used to trigger the blackout? That's inexcusable!
Alright.
If the irons in the storage room caused the blackout, then for the killer to turn the irons on, you're saying they went all the way to the... And that means everyone who, when the blackout occurred, can't be a suspect.
No, just because people were in the dining hall doesn't mean they're not
But the people in the dining hall, if then the killer had to go to the storage room before them and turn on the iron. Now do you intend to take back what you said? But the people in the dining room, then the killer had to go to the storage and turn on the iron. If the irons in the storage room caused then for the killer to turn the irons on. You're saying they went all the way to the storage room? And that means everyone who was in when the blackout occurred can't be a suspect.
No, just because people were in it doesn't mean they're not a suspect.
But the people in the dining room, the irons caused the blackout.
Allow me to cut through those words.
Allow me to cut through those words!
11:30 p.m. Mr. Ham-Hands died around that time, too!
I see. When the timers activated the air conditioners, the breaker was tripped and caused a blackout.
Indubitably?
They probably checked the old building's energy usage in advance and used the irons to nearly max it out.
If so, even if Pekka was in the office, it still would have been possible to cause a blackout, indubitably.
Indubitably? Miss Sonia, not you too.
Regarding the energy usage, they probably asked Monokuma about it.
Dun dun dun!
Is she right? Such a hateful bear! You deserve to die 1,000 deaths!
1,000, you say? If I died that many times, I might really stay dead, you know?
Shut up! You guys just stay quiet!
I couldn't have prevented the blackout even if I was in the office. Even so, I feel regret. If I was in the office, I could have reset the breaker in time. And maybe the murder wouldn't have occurred.
No, the breaker in the office was built into a high area of the wall that's impossible to reach. Resetting the breaker in that darkness would have been impossible, no matter what.
Sounds like you don't need to blame yourself.
Even so, the killer is so sly. I'm starting to worry we may never actually find them.
It's alright. You don't have to worry. Because they're just a petty killer, right? They can't defeat symbols of hope like you guys. There's no way everybody will lose now. This little incident will just be a stone for you all. That's what I believe.
Nagito? What happened to you?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, you have been saying this whole time that there's no way a killer could be among us.
Oh, is that so? Well, let's just put that minor detail aside for now and talk about the incident. For now, we found out how the blackout occurred. But the question is, who caused it, right? Anybody could have hid and set the timers for the air conditioners. Setting up the irons in the storage room could have been done before Byakuya set foot in the old building. What a shame. Any one of us is capable of that.
What are you implying?
He's just saying, after all this time, we still haven't made any progress.
Huh? Even though we have been arguing for so long?
Fortunately, it's the truth. Despite the fact that we've discussed this at length, there's not even one clue that leads to the killer. But that might be because there's no way any of us could be a killer.
You're changing your story again?
Anyway, I have an idea about what we all should do at this point. Has anyone thought about our situation like this? Instead of surviving by doubting others,
Let's get...
Just as I thought, this diagram is a clue. Who is the killer? Who the killer is? How they were able to break the influence dark. That is clue somewhere in the diagram. But when you discuss how the killer was able to move from that table to that table in the dark. The killer probably used something else from the killer.
Here! The killer must have used the desk lamp to move to that table in the dark.
the desk lamp. I hope you don't mean they turned on a light or something.
There was a blackout. There's no way the killer could have used the desk lamp.
I can prove it with this! They didn't turn the desk lamp on. They used its power cord. They could have felt their way to that table using the power cord, right? By doing that, the killer was able to move to the table and use the glowing paint to find the knife.
And there's only one person here who could have done that.
Crap! Nagito, it was you, wasn't it? Me? Judging from everyone's positions before the blackout, the only person near the power cord was you.
Which means the only one who could have felt their way to the table using the power cord was Nagito!
That's just a coincidence.
But still, you had a chance, right? A chance to hide the knife under the table?
Crap! I see! Nagito, weren't you cleaning the dining hall all morning? If so, you would have had a chance to hide the knife. That's... If you factor in the power cord and the time you spent cleaning, you're the only one who could have done it. Seriously! That's all just a coincidence!
If it was just one coincidence, it'd be fine. But when it's one right after another, I wonder, is something like that even possible?
Could it be? Did you give yourself cleaning duty on purpose so you could hide the knife under the table?
Now that you mention it, Nagito did prepare the drawing to pick who cleaned the dining hall.
You got us to lower our guard and tried to hide the fact that you did it, didn't you, you motherfucker?
Well, just admit it already!
Nagito, tell me you object to this. Frankly, I don't want to believe it either. We investigated together. You were so kind. I can't believe you're the one who killed Byakuya. Nagito, say something!
Uh-oh.
The Ultimates are working together to combat the despair of their friend's death! How wonderful! How beautiful it is!
Huh?
Let's cut to the chase. You're correct. It was my... I'm the one who hid the knife under the table before the party started. I'm the one who used the power cord to find my way to the table in the dark. And of course, I'm the one who... After all, there's no way I'd knowingly whip out a knife in front of everyone, right?
Is it just me, or
Does he seem a little nuts right now?
But I never expected Byakuya to have night vision goggles. Because of that, we had ourselves a little scuffle under the table. And, well, you all saw how that played out. With a twist ending like this, I think we can all agree this ended up being a very interesting mystery. Byakuya performed admirably.
Just stop it already! Seriously! What the hell happened to you?
Don't tell me. Is this your true nature? Were you lying to us this entire time?
Lie? That's outrageous. There's no way someone like me could ever lie to you guys. I understand better than anyone else that I'm ultimately worthless. Too arrogant to have dreams or cling to hope. Too disdainful to actually try at anything. I've made peace with the fact that I'm a lowly, stupid, insignificant human who can't do anything right.
Holy crap! He's totally the type of guy who spent his childhood killing neighborhood pets!
He seems like the sort of person whose eyes light up while watching Friday the 13th. Just like me.
That's quite the hobby you have there. But, like, now's not really the time to bring it up.
Hey, Nagito! If you were behind all of this, then did you also send that threatening letter?
Yep, I sure did.
We will never give up! The irons are just one reason.
11:30.
I can prove it with this. They didn't. Nagito, weren't you cleaning the dining hall all morning?
I'm the one who hid the knife under the table before the party started.
And of course, I'm the one who caused the blackout. Yep, I sure did.
But why would you send a threatening letter and...
I see! At the time, Hajime said I wasn't lucky. But it was actually the opposite.
I think it's strange that...
The killer was so obviously Nagito!
He has already confessed.
That bastard Nagi, he killed Byakuya with a knife he hid.
No, that's wrong! That knife...
But Buck...
Hey!
I can prove it with this! Even if we couldn't see what happened in the dark, I'm pretty sure someone could...
Everyone, calm down! We gotta stay calm in a situation like this!
Ah! Don't step on my feet!
What the hell? What's going on here? This is...
Ow!
Turn the damn lights on! I can't eat like this, you know!
You guys? Where are you? Wasn't the blackout just in the kitchen?
Hold on a
What the heck?
It almost sounds like... Byaku...
Class child suspended.
Well now.
Did I get her to laugh again?
I'm Monami, and my heart is throbbing like crazy right now. The group's leader, Byakuya, got killed, and his killer is among this group of students. No, I'm not gonna believe it. I'll never believe it.
La 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 ba la 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 ba 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 da ba la 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 da ba ba da ba la 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 ba ba da ba da ba da la la da ba 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 da ba da ba ba da ba da ba da la ba da ba ba da do 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 do.
So do your best, and don't forget to save regularly.
Well, what now? If the knife isn't the murder weapon, there's no definitive proof that...
Shut up! We'll be the judge of that.
You say you were shoved away, but you can't actually prove it, right?
That's right. Even if a different weapon was used, it does not mean Nagito has been cleared of suspicion.
But there's another reason why I don't think Nagito is the killer.
Still more?
Based on what we've discussed, Byakuya was killed under the table, right?
Is there something wrong with that?
Well, even if that's true, I feel Nagito looks, clean.
Nobody's ever complimented me on my appearance before. Not even my own mother.
Ha! I don't know.
I'm not talking about your looks.
I see!
No shit.
Are you trying to say something like, why didn't Nagito have any bloodstains on him?
Yes, that's it. Because under the table, there was a lot of blood splattered everywhere, right? There were even bloodstains on the inside of the tablecloth.
He stabbed Byakuya to death. It's strange he did not get splattered with an appropriate amount of blood.
Aha!
I can prove it with this! You're talking about the bloodstained tablecloth we found in the storage room, right?
If there are bloodstains on it, that settles it. Nagito used the tablecloth to block the blood splatter.
But that was found in the storage room, right?
You mean after the lights came back on? What would he have done if we'd seen him?
That's true. The tablecloth was pretty big. So even if you
wearing a tablecloth, going under the table, getting a knife in a blackout, and stabbing someone. That's not just impossible for someone like me. Wouldn't it also be impossible for you guys, too?
Then, what does it mean?
Maybe the killer didn't necessarily stab Byakuya under the table.
No, there's no mistake that the murder occurred under that table.
Even the...
understand this correctly. So, letter explosions. I know what it is. I know what it is. Okay, fine. Nani? No! The F? Stop. You violated the law. L. The floor. Okay. I know what it is. It's under the floor. It's under the floor. Yes, I will never give up, and I know what it is. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Let's go.
Got it!
Complete! No harder.
You're the only one!
You're the only one!
Hey, Gundam, you dropped your earring in the dining hall, right?
Are you referring to the Hellhound earring?
About that earring.
I said, are you
About that Hellhound earring. You dropped it beneath the floorboards, right?
one of my 4 dark devas of destruction, Mirage Golden Hawk, Jumpy, has seen beyond the chaos. A secret passage of doom leading to the underground lurks beneath a large assortment of random boxes. After securing a lighter from the supermarket, I threw caution to the wind and ventured below the floorboards. And as a result of that lonesome battle, I was able to recover the Hellhound earring with my own 2 hands!
There he goes blabbing about power and crap. You're ridiculous. You're just a breeder, you know.
Anyway, it sounds like you can go under the floorboards from the storage room.
Then that has to be how the killer did it. If the space beneath the floor is empty, it's not that far to move from the storage room to the dining hall.
I see. If they passed through the storage room, I understand why the tablecloth was put there.
The killer lurked under the floorboards during the party, and from there, stab, stab, stab!
Stab, stab, stab.
Are you sure?
You don't like stab, stab, stab? Should it sound more fleshy, like...
I'm not talking about your sound effects. You're saying they snuck under the floorboards, but that means they would have had to leave the party, right? So, was there anyone who was able to do that?
Then whoever wasn't at the party is the killer. They must be the one who was waiting under the floorboard.
Who wasn't at the party again?
I didn't participate, but I was guarding the entrance, remember? Monomi over there can be my witness.
Yes! This Monomi over here is your witness!
I believe there's no need to discuss this matter further.
I was in the kitchen for a long time, but I frequently went to the dining hall to deliver my dishes.
The only... Judging from the photo I took before the blackout...
It obviously has to be him! Yay! It's decided!
What the fuck are you saying? I'm not the killer!
Oh, really? What happened to the tough guy who was saying stuff like, I can do it?
Don't mess with me! I'll fucking kill you!
See? You're making threats again.
Yep, that's right. Things are starting to get exciting.
During the party, the killer was lurking under the floor like a cockroach. During the party, the killer was lurking under the floor like a cockroach.
And they could have stared at panties all day. Without going to the storage room in the dark.
Is that true, Fuyuhiko?
Don't act like I'm the fucking killer!
But when the party started, nobody saw you, you know. That means you have no alibi. During the party, was lurking under the...
And they could have stared at without going to the store.
Is that true?
Don't act like I'm the...
But when the party nobody saw you. That means you have no...
The culprit is self-evident.
During the party, was lurking under the...
And they could have stared at without going to the storage room in the dark.
Is that true, Fuyuhiko?
Don't act like I'm the...
But when the party nobody saw you. That means you have no alibi.
The culprit is self-evident.
During the party, the killer was lurking under the floor like a cockroach. During the party, the was lurking under the...
And they could have stared at me without going to the store.
Is that true?
Don't act like I'm the fucking killer!
But when the party started, nobody saw you, you know. That means you have no alibi.
The culprit is self-evident.
During the party, the killer was lurking under the floor like a cockroach. During the party, the killer was lurking under the floor.
And they could have stared at me without going to the store.
Is that true?
Don't act like I'm the...
But when the party nobody saw you. That means you have no alibi.
The culprit is self-evident.
I know.
During the party, was lurking under the...
And they could have stared at me without going to the storage room.
Is that true, Fuyuhiko?
Don't act like I'm the...
But when the party nobody saw you. That means you have no alibi.
Yeah, it's Shiaki.
During the party, the killer was lurking under the...
And they could have stared at Pan without going to the storage room.
Is that true, Fuyuhiko?
Don't act like I'm the fucking killer!
But when the party started, nobody saw you, you know. That means you have no alibi.
You mean?
No, that's wrong!
Yeah, that's wrong. You wrong.
No, Fuyuhiko...
Told you.
I saw Fuyuhiko after the party started. There's no way he could have been waiting under the floor before then.
You should have said that earlier, dumbass.
It's still your fault. Like, why were you even lurking around the old building in the first place?
Shut
Shut up! Maybe there really is a secret passage to go under the floorboards from outside.
What'd you say, motherfucker?
Oh, no!
Wow, he got chewed out, but he looks super happy. Then someone definitely went under the floorboards through the storage room during the party. During the party? It was probably...
But walking down that dark hallway to the storage room is like trying to make Eggs Benedict without any eggs.
You're right.
The hallway was really dark during the blackout. Moving to the storage room like that...
It's like making a seafood bowl without fish.
No.
Is it really not possible?
Nope.
What if they used a string like the cord?
The hallway was really dark during the blackout. Moving to the storage room...
It's like making a seafood... Is it really not...
What if they used a string like the cord?
Crap! The hallway was really dark during the blackout. Moving to the storage room...
It's like making a seafood... Is it really not...
What if they used a string?
Maybe there was another pair of night fish... What a pain. I'm gonna go with my gut.
What if they used a light?
I agree with that. Will you be...
Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony?
I don't doubt what Kazuichi said. What are you trying to say?
The reason Kazuichi couldn't see the office was because the hallway was dark. So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway. The reason Kazuichi couldn't see was because the hallway. So if a light was shining in such a dark wouldn't. After all, he was walking near the hallway, right?
Damn it!
Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned, it contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony? Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned, it contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony?
I don't doubt what Kazuichi said. What are you trying to say?
What a drag. Okay. Find the door.
The reason Kazuichi was because the hallway. So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway, wouldn't Kazuichi have seen it?
Allow me to cut through those words!
Cut through those words! Yeah!
Nagito, did you forget? Or are you just pretending you forget? There should have been a... I'm talking about the fire door in the hallway.
I'm just gonna turn this camera off.
Form a perfect wall in the hallway. Plus, the hallway rounds the corner just beyond the fire door. So even if there was a small gap in the door, as long as they passed the corner, the light still wouldn't peek out.
see. Actually, no. You still don't remember your talent, do you?
Who cares about that right now?
Nagito, what are you plotting? For someone who insists he's not the killer, you are quite nosy.
You sound so scary. If you're that angry, why don't you take a deep breath? You sure like to piss us off. How about I shut your fucking mouth for you?
Hey! It's okay if you guys fight, but I won't allow a burly brawl that might offend people. More importantly, can you hurry up and decide who's the blackened already? Time runs out when I get bored.
Fine, I get it. You're telling me to pass the torch, right?
Pass the torch?
We're going to ask the real killer, not an imposter like me, to show themselves.
You're obviously the killer, right?
If you think I am, I really don't mind. Whatever conclusion you ultimates arrive at, I will accept it, no matter what it is.
Whoa, she's pecking already.
You're the only one!
Yes!
Terry, could it be you? What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There's no way! Objection or not, why am I being treated like the killer? Because the portable stove used in the murder came from the kitchen. That's it? That's the only reason you're treating me like a killer? Isn't that a little drastic? You're cruel! Cruel! Too cruel!
Terry. That attitude is so not likely for the ultimate cook to get so upset.
Call me chef.
If you fall to aspersions like this, who will be there to support the future of the culinary arts?
The future of the culinary arts?
That's right. For the future of the culinary arts, you must face this and fight it fair and square.
You're right. Yeah, that's totally right.
So what's an...
Let me think about this first. I know what it was. I know what it was now. Just had to think about it.
I can prove it with this! The mark you're talking about is the glowing paint that was applied to the knife, right?
By using the glowing paint as a target, they were able to judge where to stab even in the dark.
I see. The killer didn't target an actual person. They just struck the moment the glowing paint moved.
That would be the moment someone grabbed a hold of the knife.
So, the killer used the mark that I prepared for finding the knife as a mark for stabbing. Why Byakuya got killed when he took the knife.
But if they were able to do that, wouldn't that mean the killer knew about Nagito's plan all along?
Yeah.
Well, Teru!
Seriously? I don't know anything. Really? I don't know anything at all.
Then can I ask
You again? Just stop already!
Now. We should give everyone a fair opportunity to speak.
If Teru is the killer, that would mean he went to the storage room during...
Hell yeah.
Let me ask you again. Did you go to the storage room during the blackout?
There's no way I went to the storage. I was somewhere totally different.
I definitely heard Teru's voice. It's handsome, unlike his face.
Maybe it was recording or something?
Nope, definitely a live voice.
Let me ask you, did you go to the storage room during the...
There's no way I went to the storage room. I was somewhere totally different.
I definitely heard It's handsome.
Maybe it was recorded.
Nope, definitely.
Right. As long as the fact that I was in the dining hall cannot be disputed.
You damn faggot.
Let me ask you, did you go to the store?
There's no way I was somewhere totally
I definitely heard It's handsome.
Maybe it was recorded.
Nope, definitely.
Right. As long as the fact that I was in the dining hall cannot be disputed. I'll shoot through that contradiction. Just because we heard Teru's voice in the dining hall doesn't mean he was literally in the dining hall.
Cool.
Huh?
Wait, am I not talking? Yeah, I'm talking.
Remember the floor in the dining hall? It was full of gaps, right? So even if you shouted from under the floor, it should have sounded just like the voices in the dining hall.
Okay. I see. So he brazenly shouted from under the floor to make...
Is that true, Teru?
Hold on a second.
Can you explain this, Teru?
I told you to wait a second, ain't I?
Yes.
What are y'all even saying anymore? I'm telling you, I was in that there dining hall during the blackout.
Where are you from again?
I was born in West Asafu and raised in South Aoyama.
Hey, you guys! This guy's a major liar!
If Teru was in the dining hall during the blackout, he should have been there after the power returned, right?
Well, I believe so. There's no way he could have gone back and forth in that dark hallway.
Huh? Was...
something like this should...
Damn right! You guys should have been deciding this on the spot with your hazy memories.
His accent is getting even worse. He's definitely lying.
However, I am not... Why don't we consult his memories?
Gosh, yeah, don't be saying things like that. Don't make no sense. Can you even prove I wasn't in the dining hall?
Probably can.
Oh, you again!
Aha! No.
I can prove it with this! If you're claiming that you were in the dining hall when the... You know how Mikan was positioned at the time, right?
Whoa, what? No! Don't make me remember! It's so embarrassing!
No, this is a very important question. Well, Teru, if you were really in the dining hall at that time, you should know the answer to that. Huh? It was a pretty clever way of tricking. There's no way you'd forget about it so easily.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I showed you something so unsightly. How about it? You can't answer, Teru?
There's no way it would slip from your mind, especially not a pervert like you.
Even so... Nagito! Say something!
I guess you might have to give up now.
Give up? What do you mean, give up?
Teru. I'm disappointed too, you know. It's lonely watching someone I admire reach the limits of their hope. It kind of feels like a broken dream.
Nagito, what are you doing? Why are you messing with the killer like that?
Hold on a sec. Don't go moving this along on your own like I really am the killer.
But you are.
But it's already decided, right?
No murder weapon hasn't been cleared up yet, yeah?
It's no use. I can't understand him anymore. It appears he's saying the murder weapon hasn't been cleared up yet. You understand him? But it's such a sad defense. This is too cruel.
Oh, you calling me the killer, then where's the weapon?
Come on, Manumi! Enough with the whimpering and translate!
He said, if you're calling me the killer, then where's the weapon?
Weapon, huh? It's not the knife, right?
Judging from Byakuya's wounds, it was a thin-edged tool that's roughly 5 millimeters in diameter.
Also, if they stabbed from under the floorboards, the weapon would need to be at least 50 centimeters in length.
After all this, who cares about the weapon?
Not good enough! Not good enough at all!
He said, not good enough. Not good enough at all. Fine, I got it. Let's try thinking about what the weapon was.
When you see
Wanna do it?
He said, try to do it.
What a confusing accent!
I got it. Once you see Teoku die, that's my question.
Shut up! I don't know. That's impossible! Paris Hilton! Nonsense! Ah! Unforgivable! I don't know. That's impossible! Ah! Shut up! I don't know. That's impossible! Paris Hilton! Nonsense! Ah! Unforgivable! I don't know. That's impossible! Ah! Unforgivable! Where would the weapon be? Shut up! I don't know. That's impossible! Paris Hilton! Nonsense! Ah! Unforgivable! I don't know. Where would the weapon be? That's impossible! Ah! Shut up! I don't know. That's impossible! Paris Hilton! Where would the weapon be? Nonsense! Ah! Unforgivable! I don't know. That's impossible! Ah! Where would the weapon be? We will never get...
Can you just leave Vincent, please?
No! That's impossible! Paris Hilton! Nonsense! Ah! Unforgivable!
No, because like... Yeah, it's on the meat bone.
I don't know. That's impossible! Ah! Shut up! I don't know. That's impossible! Paris Hilton! Nonsense! Ah! Unforgivable! I don't know. That's impossible! Ah! Unforgivable! Where would the weapon be?
Burn! Hold up, bro. How is that not right?
be! This is the end!
Ooga changa, ooga.
I'm already eating it!
Oh, a bear that eats meat! Wait, now that I think about it, that's pretty normal.
We will never give up!
We will never give up. These are different. I don't got any of those. This is the one with. Okay, here's the check. And he got it from the. This one right here.
Here's everything that happened in this case.
Yep.
Yakuza had us gather in the dining hall of the old building near the hotel. Though one person didn't come, the rest of us assembled at the dining hall. But the air conditioners in the office and dining hall. They had already set the timers for this. Since the windows in the old building were... But when that happened, Byakuya took out a specific item that he brought in his case. That item was the night vision goggles. Byakuya was so concerned about a murder occurring that he brought a variety of security equipment with him. When he put on his night vision goggles, Byakuya witnessed a certain someone making a suspicious move. He saw Nagito guiding himself with the desk lamp's power cord so he could get under the table. That's right, everything up to that point was all part of Nagito's plan. The murder warning to Byakuya, the source of the blackout, it was all Nagito. While the blackout was happening, someone else, the real killer, began making their move in the kitchen. The killer probably already knew about Nagito's plan, so they knew a blackout was coming. That's why the killer prepared all the items they would need to commit their crime. They needed a light source, which was provided by the... They needed a weapon, too. This had also been hidden in the kitchen beforehand. The long iron skewer used in the churrasco dish. The killer hid that inside that meat. With the weapon first. Then, guided by the light. That's right, a tablecloth to block the blood splatter. With this, the killer finished. They probably turned. The floor in the dining hall is full. But thanks to the glowing mark they painted earlier, the killer was able to get beneath the table. Under the table, Byakuya found the knife that had been hidden there. If only he had retreated, he probably wouldn't have gotten killed. He had to retrieve that knife. And at that moment, the killer lurking beneath the... The killer had been waiting in the dark for the moment when the glowing paint began to move. After they murdered Byakuya, the killer purposefully shouted from beneath the floorboards to make it seem like they were still in the dining hall. Afterward, they came out from underneath the floorboards and rushed back to the kitchen. And then, after hiding the murder weapon in the kitchen, they rejoined the group as if nothing had happened. There's only one person who would have been able to commit this crime, especially if that person is someone who'd think of an unexpected way to hide a weapon inside food. Isn't that right, Teru Hanamura?
Dun dun dun. Thanks, Facebook. Hot.
That's what happened. How about...
This is a mistake. What...
It looks like your argument has come to a close. Whoops! I lost control of my wild side for a second. Was that a side effect of the meat I just ate? Well, putting that aside, let's move along to the nerve-wracking voting time! Now then, please vote. Oh, just a reminder, make triple sure you vote for someone. If you don't vote, I'm gonna eat you up just like that meat from earlier!
Why did this happen?
Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Such... Correct!
Yahoo!
That's right! This time, the blacken as we find from Fubiaki and talk about it is Teru Hanamura.
No.
Are you serious? Out of all these people, you're serious. Why did you kill him? I never knew you had feelings for him.
You've got it wrong.
They're wrong. I was only
Hey! You caught me? What? Hey! See, you're kidding, right? Man. Wait. I needed to go back home no matter what!
She's waiting for me. She's waiting all by herself for the day I got you.
Okay, I'm going now. When I come back, I think we should talk again about opening an Aoyama and Azabu location.
Oh my, you're still talking about that?
Oh, I'm serious. The Academy guarantee.
So? Then I'll just have to do my best to keep the Hanamura Diner from going out of business until then.
Mom, you don't have to work so hard.
I'll be fine. Moms are strong. I won't lose to some illness.
I know that already.
I know that already. That's why I need to go home! Hey! Damn it!
Jeez! Get it! Well now.
Done. Jail has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Oh, jeez. Deep fried tutu. One for my cook. Nice chef. Damn, big baby.
Extreme!
Kia!
Damn it!
How cruel.
What?
Let's selfie walk together. Wait, this on. Danganronpa. Jeez, I hate your voice.
For a long time, humans have been taught that if you try hard enough, even if we won't put people... There are two kinds of people in this world. Those who are born with worth, and everybody else. No matter how hard a lowly human tries, they will never be the same as someone who was born worthy. They say that effort breeds success, but that's a complete lie. The world is not that accommodating. No matter how hard a small dog tries, it will never become a large dog. No matter how we that.
Alright, this is gonna be the end of the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like Danganronpa and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.